What is the optics economy? It is a world where looking good matters more than being good, where the image beats the truth, where the performance beats the burden, where people do not have to be righteous. They just have to look righteous. And yes, the world runs on this, especially America. America runs on polish, on branding, on moral theater, on looking compassionate without actually lifting the weight, on appearing good while quietly pushing the cost downward onto the weak. That is the optics economy. And that is why it is part of devil's charity. Because devil's charity is help that binds. It looks like mercy, but functions like control. It looks like care, but installs dependency. It looks like goodness, but keeps the benefactor clean, while somebody else pays the hidden bill. That is mimicry. And this is exactly what Christ fought in the Pharisees. Not just sin in the obvious sense, but the appearance of goodness without the fruit of goodness. Looking holy, looking clean, looking righteous, while failing mercy, failing justice, failing burden-lifting love. That is the pattern Christ rebuked, because Christ is the opposite of the optics economy. Christ does not help by trapping. Christ does not build a halo out of someone else's pain. Christ does not demand gratitude as rent. Christ lifts burdens. Christ widens exits. Christ makes truth safer. Christ releases the captive. That is the difference. The optics economy asks, how do I look good? Christ asks, who is carrying too much, and how do I help lift it? And that is where we have to turn back. Because we do not need more image management, more branding, more polished excuses, more public righteousness that hides private harm. We need to turn back toward Christ, toward real mercy, toward real repair, toward actual burden-lifting love, toward actually carrying the weight instead of just looking like we care. Because if the image stays clean, while the vulnerable keep bleeding, that is not Christ. That is the optics economy. Christ did not come to help us look good. He came to teach us how to actually lift burdens.